Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, we await a judge's decision on gay marriage in Arizona. Also tonight, we launch our new series, Arizona Education, with a look at Hispanic education issues. And we'll hear about a new precision medicine institute at Phoenix Children's Hospital. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. At 5:30 this afternoon, we are still waiting to hear from a U.S. District Court judge on Arizona's law defining marriage as between a man and a woman. Here with the latest is Howard Fisher of Capital Media Services. Howie, good to have you here. This is Judge John Sedgwick. He is, literally, again, we're about 5:30 live here. We'll replay at 10 o'clock, but right now, it could happen at any moment.
It really could. What happened, the last thing to happen was about 1 o'clock this afternoon. You may remember the Ninth Circuit last week voided the gay marriage laws in Nevada and Idaho. Judge Sedgwick said earlier this week to the state, tell me why that doesn't apply here. Tell me, just how it doesn't count. I thought what the state was going to do was present some arguments about, well, Arizona's law is different, our Constitution is different. But they punted. You know what they said? Well, technically the Ninth Circuit hasn't issued a formal mandate, and therefore you can't rely on it. In essence, they're conceding the Ninth Circuit precedent applies. They're conceding that when the mandate issues, Arizona's laws go away. So this seems to be almost a delaying tactic.
Well, a delaying tactic indeed, which brings up the question of what is Attorney General Tom Horne doing? Does he want to see full en banc there with the Ninth Circuit? Does he want to take it to the Supreme? I think for most folks following this, it seems like both avenues have big roadblocks in them.
Well, exactly. He thinks perhaps that somebody will get the full Ninth Circuit, 11 judges, to review Nevada or Idaho, and that's certainly within the realm of possibility, or the Supreme Court will somehow put holds on. Well, we've seen what happens. Every other state that's gone to the Supreme Court and said, oh, please put our law on hold while you get to review it, the Supreme Court has said, go away. This judge has said in an earlier ruling, when he was looking at the issue of a man whose California married spouse had died, said, look, it looks like Arizona's law is unconstitutional. So I'm not sure exactly what we're waiting on here.
So, but it does afford an opportunity for the state to hold off as long as possible in the event someone somewhere decides to either stay or add extra time for reconsideration?
That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing is buying time. Although, what's interesting is Jenny Pizer, who's an attorney for Lambda Legal, basically said this was sort of a white-knuckled attempt to hang on to the last chance that maybe we can salvage this puppy.
Okay, so no gay marriages in Arizona until this fight is over. And again, this could happen in the next 5 minutes. It could happen anytime this evening. It could happen.
Yes.
Once it happens, do gay marriages start in Arizona immediately?
Well, it depends on how the judge issues his order. The judge could issue his order and then stay his own order to give them a chance. If they say, you want to go to the Ninth Circuit, have at it. If the judge simply voids the law, I think that, let's assume he does it 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. I think 8 o'clock, Jenny Pizer is down at the courthouse with a couple of her clients demanding the marriage license. Now, there are no same-sex marriage licenses to be had, so I don't know what the clerk tells me.
I was going to say, are county clerks prepared for this? Again, we're talking about the possibility here that in the snap of a finger, in the announcement of a verdict, a decision, you can go get married.
Exactly. Now, county clerks say that they're not prepared for it, but I think if Jenny Pizer is standing there and you're the county clerk, she says it's really simple. You see where it says husband and wife? How about spouse A and spouse B? End of problem. Issue the license.
As far as Arizona's law is concerned, again, defines marriage as only between a man and a woman. What has Judge Sedgwick said about this so far?
What the judge said is that in line with all the other rulings of all the other circuits, that this appears to be discrimination based on sexual orientation. The state has argued, the state is out of arguments. The state said, oh, we're not discriminating on sexual orientation. Well, the Ninth Circuit rejected that. They rejected the argument that only straight couples can marry because only they can have children. They even rejected arguments that have been presented that somehow if gays can marry, men will decide, well, marriage isn't important, and they're going to leave their wives. You know, I'm not sure I'm ready to tell my bride that if gays can marry, I'm out of here.
So we're talking 14th Amendment here, equal rights protection. That's what we're talking about at its base level, and we're talking about a district court judge that has looked at the Ninth Circuit, probably has looked at the Supreme Court as well, and he's pretty much signaled what he's going to do.
Oh, I think he's more than signaled it. I'd be willing to lay money on the fact he's got a written decision ready to go. He's taking a look at what the state argued this afternoon, and unless he finds some reason in there to delay it, you know, tomorrow night when the roundtable comes, I think we know what we're going to see.
Well, I sure hope we have some sort of decision by then. Right now we don't, but it's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Tonight we begin a new series that focuses on Arizona education. We'll devote segments to discussing educational challenges and solutions from kindergarten through the university level. Our first segment involves the Hispanic community, and we'll hear from two panelists about educational concerns faced by Latinos in Arizona. But first, we meet a young woman with big dreams.
I'm working on writing essays and filling out applications, getting letters from my mentor.
Karina Iribe Romo's scholarship search is pretty specific.
I'm working on 2 different ones right now.
She's looking for private groups willing to support students known as Dreamers, and those like her often called DACAs, which stands for Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals.
Deferred action is basically a permit that allows undocumented people that qualify, that meet the qualifications, to get a permit to be in the United States for 2 years at a time. And it allows you to work and be here without the fear of deportation.
At the age of 7, Karina left Mexico with her mom and sister and moved to Arizona. It would take 10 years before she began to understand the limits associated with certain labels.
Right after I graduated, I went to Astoria College, and they were like, the counselor was very excited. She's like, oh, you qualify for a presidential scholarship. You can go to school for free here. And then I looked at her and I was like, oh, I don't qualify for that. And she's like, why not? And then she looked over my papers again, and she's like, oh, I see, you know, you don't have a social.
Without a social security number, Karina was considered undocumented. That meant she could get no public scholarships based on merit, and she had to pay higher out-of-state tuition rates.
I started taking 2 classes at a time because that's what would still keep me within a reasonable price. So I started doing that, and I would go to two classes at a time. I went through a phase where I gave up, and I said, you know, this is going to take me forever just to get an associate's, and I stopped going to school. But then I went back only to find another tuition hike.
In 2012, thanks to President Barack Obama's executive order, Karina was granted deferred action status. That opened the door for in-state tuition rates at the Maricopa County Community College District.
Right when I got my permit, right when I got my deferred action in the mail, I went to the Astoria College and enrolled full-time, and I was finally able to graduate after 6 years. And I am the oldest of 6 at home, so that's a really big, big example that I'm setting for my brothers and sisters. So I tried to instill that in them, if I could do it, and it took me this long. You guys are all American citizens. You have every opportunity to be able to go to school, get scholarships, or get a job and pay for it. Even if you have to take out a loan, that you have that opportunity, you need to maximize it.
While receiving deferred action has helped, the DACA label only goes so far. Karina wants to earn a bachelor's degree, but unlike community colleges, Arizona's public universities won't offer her in-state tuition rates. So the scholarship search continues.
And here now to talk about challenges and solutions facing Hispanic education in Arizona is Dr. Kent Scribner, Superintendent of the Phoenix Union High School District and a member of the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for Hispanics, and Dr. Delia Saenz, an Associate Professor of Psychology and Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education at ASU. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We got 17,000 more Latino students in Arizona schools than white students. We've got 20 points, though, lower on the Ames tests. What's going on out there?
Well, I think one of the biggest issues is the historic approach to focusing on low-income and language and minority students. Latino students are the largest, youngest, and fastest growing minority population, and urban schools and low-income schools have historically focused on minimizing their failure, focusing on what I would call a deficit model, and not focusing on maximizing their success and investing in our students as the assets that they truly are.
Is that deficit model a bad thing considering all other factors involved?
I don't think the deficit model is absolutely wrong, but it does fail to take into account the complexities that are involved in creating success. And as Dr. Scribner said, we really need to build on strengths of students and create educational systems where their strengths are highlighted, where teachers have cultural competence, where parents are actually invited to get involved in the school, and where all students are given an opportunity.
Give us an example of building on strengths.
Sure. We have in our school systems, magnet schools, for example, that focus on science or biology, where students are presented with opportunities rather than treated as if there's a deficit. And when given that type of encouragement, we've seen example after example where they succeed, where they go on to the next level and really are competitive in the educational system.
Is that a different model than what has historically been used in public schools? And if it's a different model, why does it need to be different?
It absolutely needs to be different. We don't want to be like these other large city systems, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, Miami, dealing with Latino students in particular as problems that need to be fixed. We need to look at our students as assets that need to be invested in. What we've historically done is focused on metrics like suspension rate and absenteeism and dropout rate, all very important things that we must attend to. But if we only do that, you do that at the expense of middle achieving and upper achieving students who do happen to live in the urban core, do happen to be low income, Latino, or language minority.
The concept of cultural differences, how much does that factor in? The fact that a lot of parents out there of these students, they don't have advanced degrees. Some of them didn't finish school. Some of them are looking at their children. They can't help them too much with homework. How does that factor in?
Well, this is true. Many of the parents aren't highly educated and they can't help with homework. However, if you look at study after study, including some of the research that I've done, it suggests that the #1 priority for Latino parents is the education of their children. So they're interested in having their kids succeed. They want to provide that opportunity, and they're willing to help the school system as well. The other thing is that we really can't think about our children as minority anymore, because if you look at the demographics of our state, Hispanics are the largest group already, and if you combine all minority groups together, they actually create the majority of students in our school population. And so it's not so much bending the norms to make it culturally responsive. It's simply creating a situation that serves the students who are in our pipeline now.
Does that mean more of an embrace of diversity out there? And that's kind of a buzzword, buzz phrase. How do you embrace diversity in the school system?
Well, I don't think it's a function of a need for multicultural focus. I think it's a focus on rigor, access to honors courses, advanced placement. Our kids are smart. And if we invest in them, if we push them, if we provide rigor, relevance in instruction, meaningful relations between adults and students, we will find it's the right thing to do. This is not some social justice rallying cry to help Latinos. This is arithmetic. There's 60% of the incoming kindergartners. What kind of Arizona do we want to live in the next 10, 20, 30 years? Arizona success is Latino education success.
Interesting that you mentioned raising expectations, because that challenge, it would seem to me, would make a lot of sense. I mean, you say, so go do this, let's see if you can do that. Most kids say, I'm going to give it a shot, I'm going to give it a try. Is it viable, though, again, in such a massive public school setting?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have small specialized programs, Bioscience High School, one of our top performing, gold medal from the Department of Education, Franklin Police and Fire High School. We're talking about a coding academy, small specialized, highly rigorous programs. This is the future workforce. If we do not invest in this future workforce, it's not only good for our students, it's good for business, it's good for Arizona.
It's that magic word, invest.
Exactly.
Talk to us about that.
And it's not just investment in students and programs, but it's also investment in teacher development. So having them become certified, either in terms of bilingual or in terms of special bioscience technology, giving them the tools that they need in order to be available for students. That's essential. You know, in 2012, the Morris Institute published a report which suggested that Arizona was at risk of becoming a second-tier state educationally and economically. And I think we risk that if we don't pay attention to some of the disparities that we've seen in our education system based on ethnicity and race.
Okay, so we've got some good ideas out there. Things are happening. The Carl Hayden robotics team has made international headlines here. So things are happening, and yet there is still that achievement gap. Are we expecting that gap to close too quickly? Why aren't we getting better quicker?
That's the $64,000 question. And I think there has to be a mindset change. We have seen programs across the country where teachers are trained to think about a growth mindset rather than a static mindset. And it turns out when you train teachers to think about intelligence as something that's incremental and that can grow, it benefits everybody, not just minority kids. So I think systemic change is needed here.
Is systemic change going to take a while? Do we have to be patient?
We don't have time to wait. We must invest today. And we have magnificent, incredible, intelligent students. We have a student from Alhambra High School, Josh Elisete, rode the bus to Burton Barr Library, built websites and blogs, made more money than the average Arizona while he was in high school, graduated ASU, Barrett Honors in 2.5 years, fastest ever, now runs a multi-million-dollar digital marketing company. A kid, 22 years old, has employees all over the world. A Phoenix Union Alhambra High School kid. They are in our schools. We must invest in them if we want to have a viable economy moving forward.
Okay, how do we invest in them? What needs to be invested?
Exposure to rigorous curriculum, dual enrollment opportunities. Our kids come to school, 83% of them live in poverty. So the opportunity to earn some college credit in their junior and senior year is crucial. Doubling the numbers of AP offerings, advanced placement, honors. We've done all these things. Now we have to continue to do it, reach down to our elementaries and focus on rigor from pre-K through the university.
Likewise, providing support so that students can afford to take the SAT and the ACT, and this will allow them to be competitive for college. That's very important. It's a low-cost investment, but it can reap tremendous benefit.
So as we wrap it up here, the best way to address this education gap, you think, is?
I think it's redoing the whole system, being responsive to the students that rather than continuing the same old pattern. So providing greater opportunity, raising expectations, and providing the students with the strength that they need to continue.
Is that happening in certain areas, but not enough areas? Is that tide slowly washing over the state? What's happening out there?
I think it is happening in certain areas, and I think Phoenix Union is a perfect example of some of the programs they have there. But we'd like to see more of that, and we'd like to see greater coordination between the high school level and the earlier levels.
That coordination's big, isn't it?
Absolutely. We must transform the culture, move away from minimizing young people's failure and move toward maximizing their success.
You optimistic?
I am optimistic. We have no other choice. Our students are the adults of the future. Latino students today are our workforce moving forward.
We don't have any other choice, but you can be a little less than optimistic, and when you see the numbers and you see the result, are you optimistic?
I'm very optimistic, and I think once the whole state thinks of Arizona as the reality that it truly is, then they will invest, irrespective of whether the child is Latino, Native American, Black, Asian, or white.
All right,
That's where we need to head.
Good to have you both here. Thanks for
you.
joining us.
Thanks.
Phoenix Children's Hospital recently opened a new institute to apply state-of-the-art genomic technology to help diagnose and treat children facing serious illnesses. Robert Meyer, President and CEO of Phoenix Children's Hospital, is here now to talk about the new institute. Good to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
And it's good to have you here on something on such an up note here. The Chan Soon Shong Children's Precision Medical Institute. What is it?
It is a molecular medicine, genomic-based diagnostic center to look at, basically, if you look at children, we believe, Phoenix Children's, that the majority of childhood diseases, chronic diseases, are genetically based. So we entered a couple of years ago a desire to move into genomic medicine, the leading edge of genetics.
And we had talked to you, I think, back in the time when you guys were first moving in. You're really moving in the direction now. How does this change the game?
Well, it changes for us. Being a children's hospital, standalone children's hospital, we didn't have the resources. We were a little naive when we got into it as to what it would cost, what the resources were, et cetera. So we went out to look for a partner that had the infrastructure, the ability to really give us the tools to do what we are trying to do. And we found all of that with Patrick Soon-Shiong and his umbrella of companies that are under NantHealth.
Who is Patrick Soon-Shiong?
He is a professor of surgery at UCLA, but more importantly, he's an entrepreneur. He's developed a number of chemotherapy agents, et cetera. He's a very, very bright, but very driven individual that wants to see therapeutic uses of genomics, not just pure research.
And the genomics, the technology involved, it sounds like this has previously been used for adults only. Now we're shifting to children?
Yeah, primarily it's been used for adults. A good example, if you look at children, we have a very large oncology program. That's our initial focus, and we see 300 new tumors a year. So again, the incident rate of disease in children is very low. Adults, conversely, he has a similar arrangement with the Providence Health System in the Northwest. Pacific Northwest, they have 22,000 new tumors a year. So yeah, it got its roots in the adult side, and we're taking it to children.
And this are we just, I know a supercomputer, the cloud is involved here as well. Is it just basically the information we know and the information we're getting, making it faster?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the output of a genomic sequencing, it's 3 billion bits of information. So you get back to why a supercomputer, to analyze the genes, et cetera, but also then to store them, use them for research purposes, et cetera. So Patrick has given us a supercomputer dedicated to the pediatric consortium we're developing that would be housed at Phoenix Children's. In addition to that, he's been gracious enough to give us access to a very high-speed fiber optic network to transport data across the country and internationally to this supercomputer, et cetera.
Did I read that artificial intelligence technology was also being used?
Yeah, as the computer works, it learns. The more and more genomes that we run through it, it starts to learn and it starts to see patterns, it recognizes patterns. And then the other piece to it is a decision support tool that today is built for adults, but would take the genomic data and the medical data and combine them and tell you what are the most appropriate chemotherapy agents, drugs to deal with that mutation. And then the other piece that's in is also proteomics, which is, again, a major reason why we went with NantHealth, because the proteomics will tell you whether the mutation is turned on or off. So just because you have a mutation doesn't mean it's actually doing anything.
And does this now mean, and that's very interesting, does this now mean that Children's Hospital is a bit of a hub for this kind of research?
Yes, we have a relationship in terms of our partnership with NantHealth. We are the pediatric hub nationally under NantHealth, yes.
So how many patients do you think now in this first year? What are you looking at?
Well, we hope to see to actually sequence 100 children the first year, and moving rapidly through the development of this consortium. We're already in a number of research consortiums around pediatric cancer. So we think we could have 20 to 30 hospitals, children's hospitals, collaborating in a couple to 3 years, which would then start to push the numbers up where you get meaningful numbers rolling through this.
And this technology, it sounds to me like it's getting faster and better all the time. This probably ramps things up significantly.
Yeah, and one of the issues we have, and it's a bioethic issue with children's cancer, we cure about 70% of children's cancer today with what are called Children's Oncology Group protocols. So part of the theory is, from a bioethics standpoint, you have to fail the standard therapy. So you think you got 70% success rate, well, you have a 30% failure rate. So the children that are in that failed status are very ill. We need to be able to move very, very quickly, do the sequencing, and come to a therapeutic decision, and our oncologists would like to see that in a week to 10 days at most, which is way beyond what's being done today. And another reason for the supercomputers and the high-speed fiber optics and the help we're getting from Patrick.
Last question. With all the genomics technology and all the information, Are you seeing results from that 30% or whatever it is that weren't seeing results with traditional treatment?
Yeah, we have children already that we have sequenced and are in clinical trials or are receiving chemotherapy agents that are outside of those standard protocols. And the answer is yes, we already have children enrolled.
So if the children are enrolled, you're seeing the results, this can only help.
Yeah, it's only going to be better, and it's the future, and that's why we went there in the first place.
Well, all right. Congratulations on that. You're going to be a busy man here. You probably already are a busy man, but you got the supercomputer is going to get you up there too. We'll ramp you up. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. We'll have more on the future of gay marriage in Arizona, and the two main candidates for governor face off in their final debate. Those stories and more Friday, right here on the Journalists Roundtable. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Helios Education Foundation is proud to underwrite Arizona Education, a 12-month series highlighting the issues affecting college and career readiness of our students. Through a decade of strategic partnerships, Helios is working to change lives and strengthen communities through education.